The fans rejoice. To the surprise of nobody, the Calgary Flames have been eliminated from the playoffs. Whoop, whoop.
You are watching the Armchair GM Podcast.
And in classic Flames fashion, they have pretty much won their way into elimination again.
Right?
It seems to happen. We all like it's happened a few times in the last few years where they just keep winning after we all know that there's no chance of them making the playoffs. So they just like stave off their elimination for no apparent reason. The good thing is we're not falling in the standings. We're still 30th, 2 points behind the Rangers, who have played a couple more games than us, but that's fine.
It's very surprising, you know. Obviously, they played pretty well, minus the Colorado game. But I mean, just collectively, they played really well since even since the Olympic break, really. But recently, since the trade deadline, some key players have stepped it up and have shown that they want to contribute and are starting to, I guess, probably get more ice time with the subtraction of Kadri and Uyghur. So there's some guys that are kind of given more of an important role or an opportunity to show themselves, and a couple of them are doing fairly well at it. Like Frost, for instance, has been pretty damn good, ever since the deadline. He seems to be liking being, essentially our top center at the moment.
Yeah, it's staple to
Not
Matt
that that's going to
Victorine.
remain. Yeah, I mean,
I've heard a lot of people talking about this too, and I kind of agree with this sentiment. Like, don't get me wrong, Frost has played well himself, but I think that Gradine, being probably the most skilled forward on the roster currently, is kind of what's making, or part of what's making Frost play so well, is that he's stapled to this young player who's super exciting and can protect the puck and make great stretch passes and make great in zone passes, and doesn't even have to see where he's passing and can still seem to do it in between his legs all the way down the ice, stick to stick.
The poise, the swagger, the confidence of Gradine is fantastic. Like, it's really refreshing to see somebody with that much of everything. He's so confident. Like that shootout goal that he shot, like I'm sure that he skated away from the entire play before the puck went in the net because he was that confident it was going in.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
like we haven't had somebody like that for a while. Really.
Kachuk.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe.
I mean, same, Kachuk and Gaudreau, they had a ton of confidence, right? But and it's been a few years, right?
Yeah.
No, it's really something. I'm really, really impressed with Gradine. Like obviously, like there's nothing.
It's hard not to.
There's not much. It's hard not to be. Yeah. I mean, what can you say negative about his game? I mean, especially given his age. Like it's like he's been in the NHL for 5 years.
Yeah, the poise, like you were saying, he's making plays and the confidence of being able to do so, without a second thought, and do so like without too many giveaways. Like there's not like, even with, not that I'm here to shit on Huberdeau, because I'm not usually, but Huberdeau gives the puck away a lot when he's trying to make those nice plays. Gradine, you see it every so often, but most of the time he's not giving the puck away. He's actually just making beautiful passes. And I think I said this the other day, but the stretch passing from Gradine is something absolutely crazy to see. Like, between that and the way Parekh is playing, you can see in a couple of years these two guys are going to form or be the centerpieces of a really potent power play, um,
Yeah.
especially off the rush.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you recall that overtime goal from Strome that Grudin fed a few games back, a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
Like just like the way he protected the puck and went around the defender and just with ease got the puck back to Strome. It was there's just so much to like about him. And you're absolutely correct. When you factor in Grudin and Parekh and potential guys coming up, there's a good chance that we're going to have a top five power play, which I mean in Flames land that's unheard of.
yeah,
Like,
it's bizarre to think of.
yeah,
I mean, we had a really good power play in 2022, but that's like the 1 year that we had a good power play in the last 22.
25. Yeah, it's been a
Yeah,
while. It's been a while. Like I wouldn't even say our power play in '04 was really something. That was just pure grit.
yeah.
Right? Like, that team was grit. Where I mean, if we can get a couple more guys on the ice that are at the same caliber of skill as a Parekh and a Gradin, that's going to be a pretty power play to watch.
Coronado's been pretty good lately too, which is great to see because I think overall he's had an incredibly tough season,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to his defensive play and his transitional play. I found that he hasn't. I found last year Matt Coronado has did a lot of um, transitioning into his own opportunities, making his own opportunities from a really nice defensive play, passing the puck in transition, and then getting himself into a scoring area. This year, he
Mhm.
hasn't really been doing that up until about maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and he's doing it again. Like he hasn't scored a whole ton or anything like that, but he's been dangerous enough that defenders don't have to ignore him anymore. And he's
Yeah,
been making the odd, really nice defensive play as well, which he kind of dropped off of for most of the year.
yeah. It's funny, like when you talk about it, he is tied for the first in points with Frost and Backlund at 41 points. 17 goals, 24 assists.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like his season has not had that same wow factor that it did last year, right? Last year, he was fast, he was tenacious, he was really hard to get off the puck. Where the majority of this year, it's definitely been the exact opposite.
Well, it's not even that he was hard to get off the puck. It was that he moved the puck and then got himself into scoring areas and was actually able to get the shot off. This year, if when he's gotten the puck, it's kind of either rolled off his stick or the pass is missed or a defender has got a stick in the way or something. Is just like partially luck, partially probably some confidence issues, maybe some lineup mixing up issues. But I don't really know. But in the last few games, maybe it's because he started passing the puck more in the offensive zone that he's opened himself up for some better scoring opportunities and which has opened his teammates up for scoring opportunities that he's dished. And
Mhm.
it's been really good to see because like I said, um a couple weeks ago I could have, you know, not I just wasn't impressed with his season even if he is, you know, tied for first in points in on this team. Like you want Matt Coronado at 24 years old or whatever he is to be more than 40 points.
100%. Yeah, I do agree. If you look at his body of work last year with 24 goals, 23 assists, um, at 77 games, he's played 76 so far this year. Last year he was a +6. This year he's a -28. Um,
Yeah, he's one
like
of the
that's
worst in the league for minus.
yeah, absolutely. He's playing roughly. He's playing a minute less than he was last year. His His face-off percentage is less. His shooting percentage is 9.1 opposed to 13.3 last year.
Yeah.
And which is funny because he's taken more shots, right? At 187 shots this year opposed to 180 last year. So,
Huh.
but even just visually, if you just look at him visually and what you see of him, he's not nearly as fast as he was, which is interesting. I really thought that he was going to even come out this year potentially being a little bit quicker. I'm just surprised that he seemed to lose a step there on the speed.
Yeah.
For last year, like there were a lot of times where he created a play by just outworking the defender to get to the puck, and would just pick up the speed, and then he had an extra step to play with before he took a shot, and you did pick up a few goals that way last year.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
This
100%.
year we haven't seen that. We just haven't seen that breakout. So I'm not
Yeah.
really sure what's going on with him, but you're right. It's been
Well, the last
disappointing, and
couple of weeks has been way better though. On
yeah,
pretty much all of those fronts, the last couple of weeks he's been a lot better.
yeah, that's true. And really, when you look at most of the Flames have been better in that regard,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like they know they can't kind of ride the coattails of of Kadri or that sort of thing, where their role is more important. It's adding up again, so that they're being put into more scenarios. They have to take up a lot of those minutes that Kadri was eating up,
Mm-hmm.
and a number of them have stepped up in that role, which is great. That's kind of what you want to see.
Yeah.
You know, not that he's been in the league, that long, but he's essentially at 23. He's going to be considered one of the veterans here on this team, pretty soon. So,
Absolutely.
so we're going to need to see some of that.
Speaking of stepping up into roles, so
Mhm.
last night against the Dallas Stars, Kevin Ball went down in like the first 2 minutes of the game or something like that. Did
Mhm.
not return to the game. Isn't likely to come back, I don't think, this year, just because there's only 5 games left. Very possible he does, but if it kept him out of one game, I think his summer training is more important than trying to force him to play games that he maybe shouldn't play.
Yeah, meaningless hockey, anyways.
And it's meaningless hockey, like we said off the top. We've been eliminated from the playoffs, so what's the point? As much as I like Ball, and I'm sure he wants to play, that's just the way I look
Mhm.
at it. But stepping up into roles, Oli Mata, who played a ton, like a ton, last night, and has played a lot just in general recently. Zane Perek and Hunter Brstevich and Jan Kuznetsov. All three of those guys played very, very, very well last night against Dallas.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Ole Mata played 30 minutes last night.
Yeah, that's half the game. I mean,
Yeah,
the overtime, but still.
still. Yeah, White Cloud 29-52. But
Oli
even Kevin
Mata,
Freck,
I think it was Mata, Backlund, and Coleman, or it was Mata and a defenseman and Backlund that was on the ice for the entire of overtime,
yeah, yeah,
which
the
was like
4 minute.
4 minutes
Yeah,
because there
yeah,
was 2 timeouts.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, two
So they just
timeouts.
kept putting
There.
Mata and Backlund back out there.
Well, I mean, when you're faced with a double minor like that, I mean, it's pretty, and that's what you have to do. You have to put your veterans out there.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose, do you have to though? I mean, honestly,
You don't have to. It would have been nice to see.
but
Like, I don't think Honey Brstevich is a bad defensive player whatsoever, right? Like, Jan Kuznetsov is a damn good defensive player. Like, um,
Mhm. Yeah, I would have been just as confident with Kuznetsov on the ice with Mata not, to be honest. Even though
Yeah,
Mata's, I mean, he's played well.
yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
clearly, there's not much to hate about his game, but he
And
just doesn't fit into the future. So it's
he's got a couple years left on his deal, though, doesn't he?
Holy Mata has. Sorry, wait for it.
Good.
Holy Mata has 2 more years after this at 3.5. Yeah.
Yeah. So him playing as much as he has been, playing as well as he has been, and actually producing points like he has been is going to be really good for his trade value. Should that be a thing that we explore? And if
Mhm.
not, then another year and a half of him before we trade him, he'll be a good veteran for the younger guys. He's a left hand defenseman, which is really good because we don't really have like any left-handed defenseman coming up aside from Kuznetsov, who's already on the team, and Etienne Morin, I guess, would be the other main one. But he split time between the AHL and the ECHL this year because he's got a lot of
Right.
development left to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So having and Kevin Ball, I guess. So there, Ball, Mata, and Kuznetsov for a couple more years or for another year and a half before you move Mata, or you just move Mata and you find another guy, you know.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like if he's going to continue with his play, I mean, you look at he had 22 games for Utah with 1 assist, 16 with the Flames, 2 goals, 10 assists.
What was his ice time, his average ice time?
In Utah, it was 12-10. For
That's
Calgary,
his,
it's been 22-20.
yeah,
So
yeah,
obviously there's a difference there, but I mean, still, like,
yeah, and he's playing every game.
yeah,
Yeah, he's showing he's more than he was showing in Utah. At
clearly,
least for
yeah.
now. We'll see what happens. This is also, garbage time and
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, that's right. He is 31, right? So I mean, he's another one that he just doesn't fit into the long-term plans, but there's no reason Craig can't, you know, utilize that asset and potentially get he's obviously we're not getting a first for Mata, but we might be able to get like a third and a decent prospect or something
Are
like
you
that. Right? You
sure?
never know. I mean, no, yes. I mean, Craig's
You
done a
never know.
lot of good things, right? But I mean, I'll be honest with you, if he's able to get a first for Mata, then we're clearly giving him a key to the city.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the thing like I can see at a point next year, I can see us getting, you know, two like either 2 seconds or a second and a third for Mata, who is a throw in, and
Mhm.
Strom, who we paid a seventh for. That's how good these guys have been. I
Well,
think we're gonna have to let them play a little bit next year before teams actually believe it. But
sure, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's another one that has come into a scenario to which he's given ice time and he is excelled with it, right? He was playing what, like a third of the games in Anaheim, and
yeah,
he's appreciating the chance that he's getting, nightly ice time, and he's been a great addition. You know, obviously, seen him over the years, you just kind of watch him play, but I mean, like he's a really decent hockey player. He's great in both ends of the ice. Like he would be a valuable asset to anybody trying to make a push for a playoff run. Like he would be a
you.
great deadline pickup
I
for any
think
team, I think.
his leadership is something that really strikes me. Um,
Yeah.
I've heard a lot. Like, first of all, you see him talking with all of the young players on the bench all the time, whether they're on his
Mhm.
line or not.
Mhm.
Also, I've I've heard from the radio and from the broadcasters and all that type of stuff that he's staying after practice with the young players and working with them on stuff. That's the type of guy, man. That's the type of guy you want around. I
Yeah.
wouldn't even like. I don't. He's too old to extend, but I wouldn't mind keeping him around for a little bit next year. And it's funny because we started this episode like before we started recording. We were talking about how we were just going to talk about the youth today, and we're talking
Mhm.
about Mata and Strome.
I mean, it's worth talking about them because both of them have stepped into a situation where, it was less than ideal for them, for the team they came from, as far as ice time and just production, right? And it seemed like in both cases the time had just run its course in both of those cities. But given a chance to play, and albeit it's only been a few weeks, but they've really shown some promise. And like Strome, you can tell is the kind of guy where he's gotten where he is simply from hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would be a great Daryl Sutter guy.
He works hard and he has some skill. Like he doesn't
Mhm.
have 90-point skill, but I think he's got 40,
Yeah,
50-point skill. And like that's not much, and it fits right in on
mhm.
Calgary's top line. Fuck's sake.
Right. I
But
was gonna say, like, if he was here for the season and got 50 points, he'd lead the fucking team.
yeah.
Like that's Ryan Strome, the great.
So before we move on to some of the young guys I wanted to talk about, or another one of the young guys specifically I wanted to talk about, um, talking about Ryan Strome,
Mhm.
you watched the game last night.
Mhm.
I can't remember which player hit him.
I
I
don't
can't.
remember either.
I'm blanking right now. Dallas player
Yeah.
stapled him against the boards. Looking at his numbers,
Mhm.
now they called 5-minute major on the ice, and then they reviewed it and rescinded it completely. I wanted your opinion on that.
So honestly, how this went down, I watched the game after the fact, because I was out, and the 6 o'clock games are difficult for me to watch live, so I was watching it after the fact. So the hit went down, and I kind of, I don't know, in my general Gen X fashion, went nice, nice hit.
Yeah.
And then Kelly Rudy's freaking out about the play. They called a penalty. And I'm like, Jesus, I didn't see a penalty there. So then they showed the review a couple times, and I'm watching it, and I'm like Kelly's really losing his mind about this hit. And I'm like, am I literally that far out of touch? Like, I don't even see a penalty here. I don't understand what is happening right now. It was good that the refs called the five, so it gave them the opportunity to look at it and make an assessment.
I like that
But
mechanic.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so I agreed with the way they did it for sure, and honestly, I 100% agree with the final result.
I
I
I, I
yeah,
thought you
yes,
were
he
going to
went
say
in
that.
hard. Like, yes, he went in hard. I get that, and yes, it was the numbers, but he was like like a foot away. There's no, in that situation, there's really no chance that he's going to go awkward into the board. He's just going to go right up hard into the boards. You know what I mean?
I could be wrong because I couldn't see it, but
Mhm.
I feel like, especially from the positioning of the cut on his nose,
Mhm.
like, tell me if I'm wrong here, but that looked to me like his visor cut him.
Yeah, yeah, that would make a ton of sense.
Yeah.
His visor hit the glass and went down and cut his nose. I mean, yeah, you're right. In the spot in which it cut him, that would make the
Yeah.
most sense of it.
So I thought that's what you were going to say. I thought you were going to say you absolutely agree with no penalty, because that's, you and I often differ on these things. And
Mhm.
I'm happy they called the five, because I'm happy that they looked at it, right? like I said, I really liked that mechanic, that new rule that came in, I think last year, where they can call a 5 and look at it.
Mhm.
Um, to me, it was not a 5, but it was not a 0. To me, it should have been a 2 for boarding. I
I would have been okay with it too.
Yeah. But I
I
don't think that should be. And it was funny because I don't know if you know Ben, Jamie Benn, and Michael Backlund, I believe, played for the Kelowna Rockets together for a couple of
Mhm.
years. So they're like good buddies, and they've both talked about it separately many times. They're like good friends. I saw
Mhm.
them talking on the ice, and you could tell like Backlund was like almost agreed with it
Right.
when it showed them talking on the ice and talking to the refs on the ice. You could tell Backlund kind of agreed with it, and Ben kind of
Yeah.
agreed with it, and they like tapped each other, and yeah. But
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
I would have been perfectly okay if they would have called a 2 for boarding. Um, but yeah, I mean, I honestly don't
real
think
time, I
that
was mad.
even the reps thought it was a 5 either. I think I think they wanted to get a better look at what happened
Hmm.
because I honestly think that they probably didn't see it fully. It's kind of
Hmm.
the way it transpired. I don't think it was a real quick bang bang type situation. Um, there was no time loss from Strom. Obviously, it was cut, and had to fuck around with his nose a bit, but that
Yeah.
such as life in a contact sport.
I
Yeah, like if they would have called 2 minute boarding, I would have been like, okay,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But I do agree with what the call ultimately ended up being.
Yeah. I just, as a footnote to all this, I don't agree with the lost time or the injury having anything to do with it.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Obviously they do, because you can tell that they do, especially player safety. You could tell they care way too much about if it injured a guy or not, and not how bad the play actually was. Um,
Mhm.
it should be the play, not the injury or the result, because people get injured off of little things that don't matter or aren't dirty all the time.
Yeah, take ball for instance.
Take what? Sorry.
Take ball
Oh,
for
yeah, yeah, yeah,
instance. 2 minutes into the game, right? Just an innocent hit in the boards, and
yeah. But yeah,
likely out for the rest.
real time, like real time watching the game, and after the first replay I saw that really didn't show much before, I thought it was a bad hit. And then I
Mhm.
watched a couple more replays, and I was like, that's nothing. Like it should have
It's a
been,
hockey
I
play, right?
uh, 2 for boarding would have been fine. Nothing is
Mhm.
fine. Real time, I was angry. I don't think it should have been anything. Yeah, like
Yeah,
two,
I was
two
I was surprised with Kelly Rudy's response last night, just the way he was going on about it and how there'd be supplementary discipline, and I'm just like, whoa, dude, like simmer down, you
I'm
know?
fighting my urge to talk about Kelly Rudy right now, because that
Sure,
guy has been fucking pissing me off lately.
yeah,
It's like he's paid by the compliment.
right, right.
And it's funny because you see the odd like social media post where somebody's like, "Oh, Kelly Rudy always glazes the opponents," and it's like, no, no, Kelly Rudy just said that Oli Mata reaching for a puck that was going 0.1 kilometers an hour was an amazing play. Like, and then reiterated it multiple times.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he like
yeah,
goes out of his way to say that things that are just regular standard plays are amazing and crazy and cool just because the Flames are doing it. It's like, it's okay to do
I,
that every so often, but it's like every
yeah,
single whistle, there's like once or twice he does that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think he's spent potentially too much time on the panel on Saturday nights. I feel like he's being coached to be, you know, dramatic and be exciting and get the
Yeah.
fans going and rah rah hockey. It's Kelly Rudy.
So
I think
I've
I think
noticed
bit of it coached.
that to a different extent, not so much over complimenting or anything like that, but I've noticed it with Megan Mickelson too. Last year, I was really, really big on Megan with her um critical, like being positive when things were positive and being critical when it was something to be critical about,
Mhm.
and her ability to use her hockey mind and like obvious like Olympic gold medal level understanding of the game to uh ask questions that other people weren't asking to players, and um explain things, whether it be on the radio or on TV. This year she's just, it's like she's been told to
Toe the company line.
cliches, just cliches, focus in on advanced analytics, and compliment everyone. And
Yeah.
it's too bad because when she first started, she was fucking really good. I really enjoyed her breakdowns, and it's her interviews with players especially. I really enjoyed that, but I feel like it's gone downhill. But we don't need
Yeah,
to spend a whole lot of time on
that's
that.
that's one of the issues when you start getting into the big conglomerates, right? Um, they don't want controversy. They want to sell, 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 sell. Everything's great. Life is good. You can't cut. Not that she was cutting players down by making
No,
comments, but just like there's no reason why you can't. Like, it's not criticizing. It's being aware, right? That's really all it is.
and
If you
also,
know, if you're knowledgeable in the sport, you're just aware of things that are happening, and there's nothing wrong with saying it,
and
in my
fans,
opinion.
well, some are, but most Flames fans aren't completely stupid. Most kind of understand the game, and
Mhm.
it was nice to have somebody that was teaching us things about the game,
Yeah.
because she was actually talking about plays and how they're drawn up, and how they're talked about in the room, and what each player is actually supposed to do, as opposed to not doing that
Yeah.
anymore. So
That's that's one of the main things. Obviously, I didn't know the man, but that's one of the main things that I miss from having Mills in the broadcast booth on for the TV broadcast.
Mills,
Is that, yeah? I mean, because he passed away last year, right?
oh, Greg Millen,
Oh,
yeah,
McMillan. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Sorry. Um, like, cause he wasn't critical, but he would at least, you
No, he was
know,
critical. That's one thing I liked
yeah,
about him too. He was bland. He
yeah,
was very dry, but he was critical, and that
mhm,
was good.
yeah. Like he would call great, great. He would call bad, bad, and I mean,
That's
that's
all we
that's what
ask.
you want. That's what you want from your color guy, right? Like, that's
Yeah,
like, it doesn't all have to be. We don't need that.
yeah. Okay, let's move on. I want to talk about one more thing. I don't know if you have anything more to talk about after this, but let's talk about Zane Perek for a little bit. I want
Okay.
to get your opinion on his play for the last little while, the last 5, 6, 7 games.
5, 6, 7 games. Minus games 5 and 6 ago, because I actually didn't see those as well. I was in Vegas.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but his play in the last 2 weeks. The one thing I've noticed with him is he's definitely playing with a lot more confidence. Whether that be he's starting to feel it or come into his own, and starting to realize some of the things that it takes to be a quality NHL player, or maybe it's having guys like Strom to talk to and teach you how to be a professional, and he seems to be more confident. Um, with that, with a guy like Perek, clearly, it's something that drives him for better play. He's actually played very well. His passes have been way better exiting the zone. I know you and I had a conversation maybe 2 months ago about exit passes coming out that where I wasn't a super fan of what I was seeing with his passes. I just saw a lot of them going awry and missing
That's
the
one of the
mark.
reasons I wanted to talk about this right now,
Yeah,
because we had
no,
a
yeah,
discussion, a heated discussion about it a couple weeks ago or a few weeks back.
yeah. And so they're definitely on the mark now. They're hitting tape, on of the stick now, and that's so his passes are very good, but just he's reading the play better in the offensive zone, in my opinion, where he's able because he's not doing the cross rank passes, trying to get it through four guys really anymore. He's picking the spot and he's moving and making it a more forced play where he's, maybe getting it past one guy or two, but not three and four. So he's
Yeah,
being way more intelligent now with those passes. Obviously, the goal that he scored against Dallas was a beauty, right? Nice little wrister into the far side corner, top
he's
corner.
finding himself. He's getting himself into those positions to score and to
Correct.
get good opportunities as well. It's not.
Yeah.
You're right about the
Yeah.
passing, absolutely, but he's also getting himself into the spots to score, and he's switching with his partner in the offensive zone a lot, so he can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Agreed. Now defensively, I will give him. He's definitely been better defensively as well. Um, he's you can see even if he's mucking it up in the offensive zone and is somewhat out of position on the rush coming back, his effort to get there is really good. Like he makes effort to get back into the play and at least try and mix it up a little bit or break up the play, any chance he can. His play along the boards, he doesn't shy away from it like he was. He's
it
willing
needs
to.
work, but he isn't shying away for sure.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, I'm not saying he's there, but he's definitely improved on it.
Mm.
Um, and so when he's playing better, along the boards behind the net, obviously that gives him more opportunity to proceed with a breakout pass. Which again, like I said, I think it's improved quite a bit. So I mean, honestly, I've been really happy with what I've seen him in the last 4 games for sure. Um, nothing nothing more than Dallas. Dallas was probably the best game that I've seen him play all season. He was, in my opinion, I thought he was very good in all three zones. I was really happy with his game for the entirety of Dallas.
I'm actually surprised you say that
Hmm. There was a
because
game that he had like a week and a half ago, but that was also the game that I was half asleep watching and I wasn't really paying attention a lot.
yeah,
But
no,
but
and that's fair. I don't. He's had a few bad games, but I think in general the last little while he's been really good. And honestly, against Dallas, he was very good. But specifically talking about him, like yes, he tried to get back, but there was one goal that was scored against us
mhm. I know which
against
one you mean.
Dallas that I it's funny because we were talking in Flames Hub group chat. I
Mhm.
don't think you were talking with us. I think you were out and then watched the game later. But we were talking about how good Perek was that so far in the game and that he was definitely about to score or whatever. And it turns out he was. But he was coming back. So it was a 2-on-2, I believe. And he was coming back and then he thought that his other guy was about to get the puck even though the puck wasn't even close to his
Yeah,
partner, and so he turned around to skate backwards with
right.
a guy behind him, like with a
Yeah.
Dallas star behind him close to Cooley. um and so he turned around expecting a transition to offense. Like he was still moving that way, but he turned around expecting a
Mhm.
transition to offense so he could start skating forwards the other way. but the puck hadn't been turned over, and it was a
Right.
really easy pass and goal. And I was like, "Oh, Chris is going to feed off of this."
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I know the play.
yeah,
Um,
like he misread.
I'm trying to I'm trying to recognize the fact that he's young and he still needs work.
Yeah,
But yeah, there's always going to be 2 or 3 plays every game when it comes to Parekh. You're like,
he gets
God
excited.
damn it, yeah, Take, but
Chris
I
Tanev
was
is not.
willing. Right, right.
Chris
It was
Tanev
funny.
wouldn't
I
have
was
turned around for like 5 more minutes.
right. Chris Tanev would still be fighting
Yeah.
it out in the corner.
Yeah,
You know, Chris, the lights are out, dude. Everybody's gone home.
yeah.
I'm working here. Um, but Chris Tanev, he is not. Michael Stoney is not. However, no, I do know the play, and I do remember kind of going, "Ugh." But it's all good. Like
But
there's
that was also, to me, that was the only play in that game in
Mhm.
which Dane Parekh. It was just so because
Glaring.
it was a goal against,
Yeah,
and it got played over and over. But I saw it instantly, like as it was happening. I was
yeah, yeah,
instantly. I said in group chat, I was like, this was just a really,
yeah.
really bad play by Parekh, as we're excuse me, all of us are talking
Oh,
about how good he's been all day,
yeah,
because he had been really good up to that point. He made that
yeah,
mistake,
yeah.
and then he continued being good after that. So it's good
I
that
I
he's
think
not
that's
letting
what it
the
is.
mistake ruin his confidence for the game, like TJ Brody would.
Right. Yeah, that would ruin TJ for a week.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah. The one thing, because I'm used to, especially in the first, half of the season, when Prack was on the ice, I was used to going, fuck, like 7 times, 8 times again, right? Like, God, he's got a lot to learn, where if in a game where he's as dynamic as he was and looks as good as he did against Dallas. Okay, yes, he messed up there. It ended up with the puck in the net, but it was one time. So I was like, okay, like this is major gains in my opinion
Yeah.
when it comes to the Parekh cap. I may
Oh,
be sold on the kid. We'll see. We'll see. We've got 5 games left. It's got 5 games to really reel me in,
well,
and then I'll be in the Parekh corner.
he's also got 5 games in 20 more years. So
Well, we'll see. It depends on these 5 games, right?
shut up.
Like,
Just gonna ship him off.
right? I mean, he might be part of a great defensive package, right? Him and Mata going somewhere. Who knows?
So we draft Carls or fucking Verhoff. The only player in the top 8 I don't want is Verhoff. But
Sure. Yep.
Verhoff
Yep.
or Carols, and then trade Parekh for Ginla.
Right? Make it so. I mean, he's got 2 more years on his contract, so we'll see. But
I want everyone to know I'm joking about a Ginla. We're not getting a Ginla. Stop talking about it. That was a joke.
I want everybody to know that that's exactly what Dylan said he was going to say before we started recording, and how excited he was to pick up again.
Mm.
Hmm.
I'm actually more excited for Parekh than I am for a Ginla. Than
Fair.
I would be
I
for a
mean,
Ginla.
I was going to say, you know why? Because we have Parekh.
And also because Parekh is playing an exciting game from the blue line at the NHL level, and Ginla still hasn't played in the NHL. Now, who knows? But still. You have anything else you want to touch on?
I mean, no, I was going to bring up the Aginla thing, and then you just ruined my fun.
All right. Well, curious to know what everybody thinks about Parekh's play lately. Make sure you comment down below. Follow us on YouTube, check out our X at armchairgm_pod, and check out talk to me on Reddit. You'll see me all over the Flames Reddit page under the Armchair GM podcast, and follow us on Facebook.
Good.
Woo woo. Check out Rocky Mountain Maniacs, the awesome Calgary band that does our intro music and our outro music. And I'm really excited for us to get a video next year that doesn't have Kadri in it for our intro.
It's going to take some sifting, but I will make it happen.
Yeah,
It's also going to be sad that we won't have Uyghur in it, though.
Well, if we were
But
just
we'll get
taking
to it.
if we were just taking highlights from this year, it would be like, and Uyghur gives the puck away again. Oh, and Uyghur gives the puck away again. Oh, and Uyghur misses his assignment.
I think what I would do is
He
just
was
do a blank
actually
screen with
awful.
50. Yeah, do a blank screen with 52 on it, and then move on.
It's too bad because
Yeah.
again, his time here in general was so good. I'm a huge fan of the player. I'm a even bigger fan of the guy, but this year was just awful for him. He spent way too much time
Yeah.
trying to get onto Team Canada and not enough time being the player that he is.
He'd be the first to tell you that too. He knows that his season did not go the way he had envisioned it during the summer, I'm sure.
Indeed.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Cheers.
All right. 5 games left. Whoop, whoop.
Flames go. Cheers.
Go. Cheers.